polls, and NLC gives reasons for suspending strike. 109 stranded Nigerians return from Libya, and reps warn federal government against terminating e-passport contracts. The story is on the Punch newspaper. Now to the Vanguard this morning. World Bank: Nigeria's economic growth too slow to reduce poverty. The story is on the Vanguard newspaper. Also, we have here that 10th NAS leadership, Akpabio's fate uncertain as Tinubu breaks speakership impasse. And the writer to the story says President tilts towards Northwest, may unveil dark horse tomorrow. Wase Abbas to get ministerial slot. We won't allow any external interference, says Kawu. That story is on the Vanguard newspaper. And also 2023 Environment Day: increase in diseases among Nigerians traceable to plastic waste. Now to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We chartered Ethiopian Airlines aircraft to unveil Nigerian Air, MD confesses. And also on the Daily Trust, I made tough decisions to reposition sports in Nigeria, says Diary. And Kaduna governorship, we have Kaduna governorship. Ashiru PDP to court 25 witnesses against Ubasani. And also on the Daily Trust, we have this story here that says Senate presidency group fought in Dume over remark on Yari's merit. Custom intercepts 11 trailers. Rice generates 34.17 million in Ogun. You get the full story on the Daily Trust newspaper. Obi, I would have removed subsidy, but not through Tinubu's method. I would have removed subsidy, but not through Tinubu's method, says Obi. You get the story on the Daily Trust. Now we'll move to the Guardian newspaper this morning. Unreliable grid on alternative energy spike borrowing cost by 50%. Controversy trains Obi's parley with Labour Party lawmakers over National Assembly leadership. And now the writer says spokesperson denies presidential candidate endorse Yari Betera. Why senators elects are withdrawing support from Akpabio. So if you want to know why the senators are withdrawing support from Akpabio, you could read the story on The Guardian. And now we'll move to another story here. Senate okays Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors. Now to the Sun newspaper, Akpabio's bid faces hiccups as senators elect withdraw support. The writer says we won't allow any external interference, says Kawu. And also on the Sun, fuel subsidies should be implemented with palliatives in place, says Obi. Senate approves Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors. And the presidential polls, Obi Labour Party tender result from 17 states, 342 local government areas. Now to this day newspaper, Ogu present official cards to new permanent secretaries. And the Senate okays Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors. This story is on all the newspapers. Article witnesses insist result not transmitted to IRF at PU, Poly Unit. And Adeleke dissolves 7th Assembly, proclaims 8th Assembly. The story is on this day newspaper. Tinubu in crucial talks over Senate President Speaker. You get the story on this day. Now to the Nation newspaper. Has direct aviation ministries to suspend Nigerian Air. Paris Club refund. The court insists on Emefiele's appearance over $53 million debt. Obaseki raises minimum wage to 40,000 naira. You get the story on the Nation's newspaper. Now, these are your headlines, Lagos, from 7 newspapers. We'll proceed now to look at the issues in the news. I'll connect with Rufai Oseni to join in the analysis of some of the stories here to put in some perspective. And the phone lines will be open for you to join in the talks. The numbers to call, not to call now, but the numbers to call is 0700 903 903 903. When you call in, you could join in the conversation. And we are streaming on YouTube. Yes, we're streaming on YouTube, so you could also be with us on YouTube, join us on YouTube, leave a comment, and also share. I think I have Rufai.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning to you.
Mary,
How you doing?
morning, bless you. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning.
Good. Busy day.
Yeah, okay, busy day. Okay,
Go
good.
ahead.
Now, the first story here, it's an update for the subsidy removal. We can see that it's settling in, and from indications, it might not be going anywhere anytime soon. So we have Obaseki here that has increased the minimum wage from 30,000 to 40,000, and also reduced the working days of workers. We also have the story here that he has, like Kwara State, he has reduced the working days to thrice weekly. So workers don't have to come to the office from Monday to Friday. That's some of the update from the subsidy removal. I'm trying to, okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
1924. Yes, I can hear you. So
Okay.
you said Obaseki has cut working days to 3 days a week.
Yes. Obaseki has done that, and also the Kwara State governor has also reduced working days to 3 days. So that's just the update for the subsidy removal, and other states should follow suit, right?
Yeah, other states will follow suit, but it's a reflection of what is going on. The fact that now government workers, yes, have to reduce days to 3 days in a week, so that government workers can probably do other things with their life, so that the impact of coming to work 5 days a week would not be on them. And you see, that's what society is about. It is sad what is going on, honestly. And that's why we keep calling for cushioning of the effect, you know, of yeah. Cushioning of the effect of what is happening. Sorry, I'm multitasking. That's why we call for cushioning of the effect of what is happening as regards, this subsidy removal. And that's why we keep saying that, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu didn't plan for this. You can't just announce something like this haphazardly without thinking about the cushion effect. Mary, do you know that KPMG is making a projection now that as we speak today, very soon, inflation will jack up to over 30%. And we're waiting for those numbers. If inflation jacks up to over 30% with the state of our economy, you know how dire it is. Let's not deceive ourselves. Let's call a spade a spade. All these measures have to come in, and it is sad that it's happening at this point in time.
Now to another story. Let's just go through all of the stories quickly. Subsidy reps demand NMPCL audit over unaccounted 2 trillion naira asset. But you know that the Ninth Assembly is gradually rounding off their work there. But look at what is on the table. I don't think they can even discuss this properly before they finally leave the house.
Say the story.
Okay, I said subsidy reps demands NMPCL audit over unaccounted 2 trillion naira assets.
Yes, they have to demand, Mary. They have to demand. And see, like I've called before, there must be a forensic audit of all the activities of the NNPC. And please, when they do the forensic audit, make it out there and make it known to Nigerians. Don't give us forensic audit like the NDDC forensic audit that became inconclusive. Make it known out there. Because there's a lot. NNPC needs to tell us how
just come and make Nigeria look very bad like that. So they just chartered the plane just to come and show. After chartering the plane went back to Ethiopia. If you really launch an airline and started the airline, after the first landing of the plane, then things should continue. People should be able to book the airline. But we all know. And please, somebody on Twitter was trying to support it by saying other airline lease plane, Air Peace lease plane. See, airlines lease plane, but it's different from the charade of the Nigerian air. Try to misinform people on social media. Most airlines around the world lease plane, but it is different. So you are seeing what is happening now. And Mary, see, when we call for accountability and integrity, it's not because we have anything against President, so but we want him to do well. There are some positions you need to know from day one. See, in 2000, the first time Barack Obama won the election, 2 days after he won the election, he knew who his chief of staff. He announced his chief of staff, Ram Emanuel.
Yeah.
So that you know who to work with. Okay, look at one of the factors that first hampered the first conversation, because government portfolios were not. That was why. The question was, in what capacity was Dele Alaki even speaking in the first place?
Yeah.
So those are the questions you need to ask people. And we just want public accountability. So now that he's gotten his advisors, he should listen to the advice. He should take it. And, we should be able to carry on with this government. Because, see, Nigeria is on his knees as we speak. And I want Nigeria to do well. Because if Nigeria does, that people hardly trust the government. So the government must win the trust of the people back.
Now, before I let you go, I'd just like you to talk on this news about Akpabio's bid faces hiccup as the Senate elect withdraws their support. It was gathered that the support that Akpabio was getting before is no longer getting it. Not before now, it was almost sure that he's going to be the next Senate president. But from all indications and from the papers this morning, it's like he's not going. I don't know. They are withdrawing their support on account of issues connected with his relationship with the National Assembly when he had sway as Minister of the Nigerian Delta Ministry.
I don't mind those ones. Don't mind them. Now today they know that Akpabio had 40 power this year in the National Assembly. It's not today they know. It's just that somebody is winning the bidding war. Somebody is rolling out more cash. And in this case, Yari is getting a lot of momentum. Everybody is still taking Yari because Yari, they say slang in Warri, Yari they pay like whites. When they say person they pay like whites, you know what it means. The person is doling out a lot of cash and is getting a lot of good money. I've always said it. Yeah, a lot of lobbying. I've always said it that see, Akpabio should be careful because it's going to be the case of the highest bidder. Super was on the show the other day, my morning show, and he was telling me how people will have to spend a lot of money. So what is just happening that people are spending a lot of money. And you see, after the elections of the Senate president have been won and lost, you start to see how much you are spending. I'm getting $100,000. And you see, it's part of this senator that are making the dollar. This politics. Now, even bribe giving heavily in dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. This was the same politicians that made dollar go up during the party primaries. Now they've started to dole out that dollar again. The question we should ask them for is dollar a legal tender in Nigeria? When are we even going to save the prospect of this country by doing what is right? But you can see them with their big fat bags of dollars everywhere. Dollar is sloshing all over Abuja now. All of a sudden, I saw somebody on TV yesterday and they're saying he was in charge of the Yari campaign, DG of the Yari campaign organization for Senate presidency. Because the campaign for Senate presidency now is just like what's it called? It's just like presidency campaign too, and everything always goes to the highest